let's see here. I think hopefully people can hear me. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I know my face and everything's kind of chopped off. This is meant for 2 people here. So it's kind of small for like a one person visual, but hope everyone's having a good night tonight. Let's see here. So yeah, no Gary just yet, everyone. Sorry about that. We had agreed upon a time 7 p.m. Pacific, so 10 p.m. Eastern. I spoke with him just a little bit earlier and spoke to his wife a couple hours ago maybe. Don't know what's going on. So I thought maybe what we could do is take some questions, at least for me. If you guys have any questions that you think you would like my opinion on, or we can get the chat's opinion on, we can look up stuff. I've got my computer in front of me so we can look up some stats together, run some numbers on things if you think something's investable or not. Usual Pokemon chat. So we'll take advantage of this live stream while it's here, while we're waiting on Gary to get a hold of me. If it looks like I'm looking down, it's because I'll just keep checking my phone to see if he DMs me or not. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Let's see. Can we have a mini collection tour while we wait, or are you saving that for... So I was saving that for a future video, Justin. I can give you guys kind of a sneak peek. So this is just like a few things that I threw up here. I didn't have much of a chance to throw up too many things yet here. I can start up here. You guys probably can't see it too well because I've got kind of a cruddy webcam, honestly. It's not that great. But we've got some Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms up here. So 2 boosters of that. Got 3 Metazoo boosters up there that I was able to fit up there. I've got a handful more, but that's that top row. Let's see here. What do we got? So we've got some Japanese Chilling Reign Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes. We've got some Evolutions, ETBs, and that is Weiss Schwartz up here as well. Got some Bunko Fujima boxes. If you know, you know. We've got down here, I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, you can't. I've got an Eevee Gem box down there. You might be able to see it partially. I'm not too sure. We've got a Marnie box, Pikachu plush, creepily smiling in the very back. I don't think you can see that due to the light or not. Let me see if I can see some other questions here. I've got a bunch of other booster boxes like Evolutions, Darkness Ablaze, Space Set Sun and Moon, Chilling Reign, Vivid Voltage, everyone's favorite set, Battle Styles, and Steam Siege going on. Let's see here. Love what you're doing with the game and your analysis. You're going to make it big. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate that. Ultra Premium Collection, 25th anniversary. What's a good price to buy? If I remember right, that's $120 US right now. I would not spend more than $120 US on it. I am pretty confident that that set is going to be printed pretty heavily. There are not too many cards in the set, guys. I'm not... So if what I like to do is I like to take a step back. Just like all my other videos. I like to take a step back whenever I'm looking at investing in whatever it is. I like to take a step back from the hype, from the FOMO and everything, and I like to think, okay, 4 months from now, are people going to be talking as much about they're not going to, right? Unless it's absolute insanity, they're not going to be talking about the set half a year from now. So when I look at it like that, from an investment standpoint, it becomes a lot less attractive to put all my hard-earned money into that product up front right away, especially because it'll probably be printed for the next 1 to 2 years fairly regularly, right? Release some more waves, or if it's a print-to-demand set, oh my goodness, that would be terrible if I invested in that, immediately put a bunch of money up front sitting on that just for literal years with zero growth or minimal growth. So that's tricky, right? So it's like, well, when do I buy this set? I don't like buying more than MSRP for most things. If I can't get it at MSRP, it needs to be a very good pickup. So the Ultra Premium Collection, that's a good question. On the surface, I will not be purchasing those up front right away. I am confident that I will be able to get those at the asking price of $120 in a couple of months. I know it's scary. You're going to see a lot of shops sell out immediately at double MSRP or even more. I'm already seeing that. The set's not out yet. Wait until it drops a little bit. We already know that it will drop. It's just a matter of how much and how quick will it do that. By the end of the year, even by the end of the year, you've got Christmas coming up and a bunch of holidays. You might see the prices spike here and there. It just depends, right? I'm not buying into the FOMO. I can wait. And 6 months from now, maybe the beginning of the next year, like when people are focused on Legends of Arceus and whatever the new big bad set is, that's when I'll be looking at the previous sets. Potentially, even a year or two from now, if I have to pick up the Ultra Premium Collection box instead of 120, it's 180 or 200. I'd much rather do that then instead of buying one now at 120, even if I could, and sitting on it and it sticks at 120 for 2 years. That's a lot of opportunity I'm missing out on putting it on anything else. Hopefully that helps clear things up for you there. I'm trying to keep up with the questions, guys. I have just a bunch of stuff on my screen. I'm not used to live streaming yet, so if you guys can bear with me, I'm just going to check my DMs real quick, as they say in the hood. Is that what people say? Let's see here. You guys want to keep repeating your questions if I don't get to it too. Obviously don't spam, please, but if I do miss out on it, please let me know. Plotted prices of all sets dating back to XY Evo in November 2020 below the explosion. Very few booster boxes and ETBs were over 2. Given the price stagnation for 4 years, what gives your confidence in Modern? Because any set in Pokemon's history, as long as we're not the brand spanking new sets we're talking about, any set in Pokemon's history has gone up over time. If you look at XY, for example, any single set within the XY block has gone up. Now, the explosion happened pre-2020. I looked at, and this is like a sneak peek to a video coming out, so you guys are getting the first look at this. Pre-2020, Black and White, for example. Let me take a step back further from that. Let me slow down for a second for everyone trying to figure out what I'm saying here. So this is why I cut my videos the way I do, guys. I just hop all over the place. So Black and White, I looked at E4. So the E forums, for anyone unfamiliar, it's big forums, SM Pratt involved. Anyway, if you know, you know. They did a thread asking, what do you guys think is the least popular or worst set of all time? Saw a bunch of different answers thrown in there. The most common answers I saw time and time again pop up in there was base set Black and White and Black and White Emerging Powers. So those two back-to-back sets there, base set Black and White, Emerging Powers, before 2020 came out. So I'm looking at before 2019 even. I looked at a 5-year period on those booster boxes because we know, again, so booster boxes, love those, sealed product long term. I assume most people watching this are already familiar with that in the channel, so we won't dive into that too much on why booster boxes are a great pickup. Base set, Black and White, Emerging Powers, both of them over 200% growth pre-2020. Same thing with Jungle First Edition booster boxes during that same time period, like 2012 to 2017 or the like. Go ahead and feel free to look that up on like PWCC Vault. Over 200% growth on all of those products. And you might think, oh, well, Jungle First Edition, it's got good fundamentals. It's first edition. It's really old. We're talking about vintage at this point. We're comparing Jungle First Edition to arguably the worst sets of all time, though. And those old Black and White sets are just getting older. We're talking about over $2,000 for a Black and White booster box. I'm seeing the worst sets perform as good as a Jungle First Edition booster box. I don't buy the narrative that Modern is not a good pickup. Yes, there are more people investing now than there ever was in the history of Pokemon. There are also more people ripping into packs than there ever were in the history of Pokemon. Same thing happened with Magic the Gathering. People said this back in 2016. People said this back in 2010. People said the same thing back in 2005, in 99. They keep saying the same thing at those time frames, saying, well, if this year didn't happen, that was an outlier. There's always going to be an outlier. There's always going to be a catalyst of unprecedented proportions. So I don't buy into the fact that modern is super risky. Yes, it's risky. Yes, we're speculating. We're speculating on vintage product. We're also speculating on modern product. I haven't seen modern product that hasn't outperformed most vintage sets across a period of time. And I'm looking at a short period of time here. I'm not looking at a 10-year window. If I can make that 200% profit in 4 or 5 years, I'm going to take that 200%, park it into something else then, probably new modern product. More than one way to skin a cat, as Gary would say. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm just taking a different angle from it. I'm not saying investing in vintage is wrong. There's a time and a place for all of these products and all of these things. I'm a big modern guy, and I don't see anyone talking about it like that. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'm not... Sorry, I'll finish that in just a second here. Oh, I thought I got a message. It wasn't. Let's see here. Been back and forth of buying a case of Hidden Fates ETBs as the, quote, no-brainer investments, especially after your most recent vid. Is it really that broken? LOL, not looking for a quick flip either. Especially after, is it really that broken? That broken as far as, like a hack in the system, like a no-brainer play? I mean, yeah, it's Hidden Fates. So I don't know, I guess what you mean necessarily by is it really that broken? Like, it's a great set. It's a great investment. I don't think it's a secret that it will go up. No, I don't think it's going to double in price in the next handful of months. It very well could. I don't think that will happen, if I had to guess. I've got 2 balls and neither of them are crystal balls, as some Pratt would say. I'm doing Pokemon like 50-50 collecting and investing for the future. That's awesome, man. However you guys want to do it, investing or collecting, those are all great things. Almost all the ETBs had almost no growth at all from 2016 to 2020. So your point about ETBs outperforming booster boxes may especially be an anomaly and not bankable going forward. So pre-2020, ETB still outperformed. So I'm not sure if we're talking about post-2020 numbers. Is the ETB still outperformed? Pre-2020, ETB still outperformed. So I'm not sure. If you're looking at a particular time frame or a particular set, sure. You know, we can pick out all kinds of particular sets and compare modern to vintage and see where vintage outperformed modern and modern outperformed vintage. I'm talking across the board on average. I did see modern ETBs outperform. Hidden Fates is about as much of a blue chip as it gets. Yes, I do agree with that, Justin. I'm just reading right before I answer. I want to make sure I don't read anything weird or taboo. I'm overwhelmed on where to start as a new collector. I gave myself $500 to spend on something. Already bought Shiny V. Hey, great pickup. Trying to get a second, or should I go to an English modern? So it depends what you want to do. If you're talking about what's my biggest bang for my buck, man, you're going to get, if you ask 100 people, you'll probably get 98 different answers, right? There are some blue chip stocks, as I think Justin just pointed out. There's some like blue chip investments that you could throw on there. There are some, I don't know, more no-brainer plays. If you believe in the set, I'm a fan of investing in it. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is if you're looking at it from I want to make money. I don't care what the set looks like. It's going to be in a Tupperware box. I'm never going to look at it. In that case, I would look toward Japanese. Japanese, generally speaking, from what I have seen, from what I've heard others, generally speaking, Japanese sealed product especially is king. And that's something I haven't got the chance to make a big video on yet. I would like to do so. There are just too many videos that I would like to make right now. But Japanese sealed product, literally anything. if you really want a potential great investment, in my opinion, Shiny Star V is amazing. I'm not joking, and if you haven't seen him yet, definitely follow SM Pratt. He doesn't market himself all that much. He doesn't need to. Definitely YouTube SM Pratt. Subscribe to him. He's fantastic. He's just a wealth of knowledge. He's been in the game for forever. He is a fan of Japanese product as well, and he doesn't even talk about sealed product hardly, because he literally calls it a no-brainer play. He's like, oh, that's boring. That's like guaranteed money. He doesn't even touch on the subject hardly at all. The best in the game. We're talking about a millionaire here who also invests in these products. He doesn't talk about it because he says, yeah, that's a no-brainer play. That's why we're talking about singles all the time. That's what he talks about. That's what he preaches as well. He just doesn't preach it as much as me because he's ascended that. He's beyond that. He's better than that at this point. So sealed product is amazing because, again, we talked about it. It's like a mutual fund. You don't have just one stock inside of it. You don't have just that one Urshifu VMAX, right? You've got the different Urshifus. You've got the alt arts in it. You've got the rainbow rares. You've got all of that in one basket. So I think sealed product is amazing. Shiny Star V, if I had to invest in modern product right now, it'd be Shiny Star V and EV Heroes. No questions asked. Yes, that's what I would do. Be a super interesting video of you diving into old forms to see sentiment at the time on the current sets. Oh my goodness. So I would have to do that, and it would be difficult to not make fun of all the comments because guys, so I do a bunch of research before my videos talking about a particular topic, and I'll just be shaking my head laughing by myself when I'm looking at this stuff because it's really funny how time changes everything and how wrong most people are. Can't believe you're investing in that, or investing in this is dumb or stupid, or how could you ever think that this set is better than that set, and just seeing wrong all over the place. So that would be a fun video. So I'd have to find a unique way to cover that. That's a good idea though. I like that. Thank you. He's a fan. You saved me as I almost bought a Battle Styles booster box. Doing Japanese then, thanks. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't pick up Battle Styles right now. It's a fantastic buy. Like, you can grab them for still, like, I don't know, like what? 85 bucks, probably 90 bucks, 95 bucks without trying, like literally without trying. And I don't see that changing soon. I don't see the rush to buy Battle Styles. I would not buy, if I didn't have any Battle Styles already, I wouldn't buy any Battle Styles in the next year or so. That's, again, just me. Hearing EV Heroes has an upcoming reprint. Did a lot of research before I pulled the trigger on a gem box last week. That's awesome, Justin. I hope it crushes it for you. Yeah, so the gem box itself, that's really the question, right? A lot of people who've been in the game for forever aren't anticipating a gem box, an EV gem box reprint. Oh yeah, you guys can't see it. Awesome. They're not expecting this guy to get reprinted. I wasn't either. Could they do it? Yes. If they do, you can bet I'm going to be buying more. Do you think Dumb Money Vegas first edition event could be the next major catalyst for the hobby, assuming it's still happening? I like that their audience is non-Pokemon investors. Yeah, definitely. I think it's super cool. I didn't follow them before, and I still don't follow them, so I really don't know hardly anything about them other than I think they're investors, and they talk about just investing in all sorts of things. I would assume real estate and anything and everything, since they're investing in Pokemon. I'm not too sure about them, but I was aware of the opening and the shenanigans. Yeah, anything like that, right? Guys, like we could find out tomorrow that Beyonce's been collecting since she was a child, and she actually has the biggest, I don't know, the biggest Lapras or biggest Lugia collection in the world, and we had no idea. And she does a collab with Pokemon, and they make a music video in Japan with, what's that Japanese dancing group that people spam all over the place? They do like a collab, and it just goes viral, and it gets the first 10 billion viewed video on YouTube. Guys, like, it's going to happen. It's not really a question of if it happens for Pokemon, in my opinion. It's just a matter of when. So yes, there are always going to be big booms. 2010 it happened. 2016 it happened. Well, that was Pokemon Go. Well, 2020 happened. Well, there was a pandemic. Well, then there was this in 2023. There's always going to be something when you're talking about a franchise as big as this one. I saw it all the time before. I don't see anything different happening with this company. I don't mind looking at it for a while. Love the way it looks and would into more. The exclusive Espeon promo helps a lot, and 2 boosters. Such great value. I love it. It's fantastic. It's super cool to look at. I like it for my sealed collection. Yes, I agree. I think that card is gorgeous. It's sincerely one of my favorite cards, period. If you were to just lay out just a bunch of cards, all the way from since its inception all the way to now, I absolutely love that Espeon promo. I think it's beautiful. Love the color of it. It's a super cool card. Absolutely love it. I'm trying to think. So some common questions I'm starting to get now is, hey Zach, I've got 20K to put into this. Hey Zach, I've got 1K, 5K. What should I put into? And so one thing I want to kind of spearhead, and then maybe I should change the title on this. I'm sorry, guys. It looks like we're not going to be able to talk to Gary tonight. Hopefully, we had to reschedule for tonight already, and then we still weren't able to hook up tonight. What are your plans for 2022? Well, I'd like to get in better shape. Or are we talking about Pokemon? Sorry, guys. I'm going to keep hopping all over the place. That's just how I am. So if you guys need me to stick on something, just type it in the chat and be like, dude, answer my question. It was this. Plans for 2022. I want to be as knowledgeable as possible in every angle of every TCG that interests me. So not just Pokemon, that would be Metazoo. I am interested in Magic the Gathering. I am interested in Weiss. I don't know much about any of those other card games. I don't know that much about Pokemon compared to all these other insanely smart people on this platform. How do you like the Nessa boxes? Absolutely love them. They are gorgeous. And for an investment versus buying single boosters, also includes 2 boosters, no promo though. I love it. As you see, the older boxes get, the more and more. I've touched on this a couple of times. As you see, cards and sets get older, they get more and more detached from what's inside of the box. So, like, if there's a, I don't know, whatever chase card, name whatever chase card you like. It gets more and more detached from the box itself. Prime example, black and white, base set black and white. We were just talking about that. We're in black and white emerging powers. So in those sets there, you've got a Thunderous chase card. I know, right? It's like $6 or $8 raw. And then a Pikachu secret rare, like $60 raw. For sets that are over 10 years old, and the booster boxes are going for thousands of dollars. Why? There are a couple of reasons for that. I'm not printing any more boxes, so every year more get lost, more get thrown away, more get open, less and less. More cards going out onto the market, increasing the population report. And then you might think, well, if there are more cards increasing the population report, the price of those cards will go down, thus the price of the boxes will go down. That's actually not how it happens. All of that occurs, so the population of the cards go up, the prices go down. However, the booster boxes, the total number of those booster boxes go down, thus the price goes up. It's always an inverse relationship once you get to a certain point. That's why you see thousands of dollars worth of those older cards. Hey Zach, looking forward to debating and discussing some topics with you. Absolutely, Jake. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of your channel, man. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it as well. But to continue that discussion, you see more and more the value of those booster boxes going up as the supply goes down, right? So, gosh, I don't even know what we were talking about. Oh, Nessa. Yeah, the Nessa boxes. So I'm not always like, hey, what's in this box? Yes, absolutely. Especially short to midterm, that's going to affect pricing, absolutely. And it can affect it long term to a point, depending. There's always variables. You know, I can't dive into everything, but in general, and I'm trying to use this Nessa box as a generalization here. In general, you would see those boxes go up over time, regardless of how those individual cards perform, because you don't see any more of those boxes produced on the market. It's going to be more and more scarce. So that's how I look at it. As a stockbroker background, I think you would find their business model very interesting, and the fact that it's in the infancy stage of its business cycle. You know, I'll have to check them out. I appreciate the comment, man. I'll definitely check out Dumb Money. That's what we were talking about earlier for anyone who just hopped in there. Genji, thanks for dropping in. Small Invasion. Yeah, thank you guys. So, before I answered the Nessa Box question, we were talking about... What were we talking about? Can you guys remind me? We were talking about... It was something really good, too. Oh, we were talking about... I don't know. I just lost it again. This is why I cut so much in my videos. I don't understand how people like Jake and Reserved Investments and SM Pratt, these guys will talk for 20 minutes to 4 hours nonstop with very minimal imperfections while they're talking. I can't do that. My brain does not work that way. I'm like a bunny rabbit. I hip and hop all over the place. Not worried about the theory that Hidden Fates pop numbers could explode higher and hurt the intrinsic value of the ETBs. So, yes and no. There are always things to consider. This is a very complex game, right? And that's why we're all sitting here discussing it, right? So, you know, I just happen to be on a soapbox at the moment. I'm sure all of you, actually I know, all of you have great input. I've seen your guys' comments. I'm in a lot of different Discords where I see you guys discussing things. You're all very, very sharp. Not worried about the theory that Hidden Fates pop numbers could explode higher and hurt the intrinsic value of the ETBs. Absolutely it could, and it would. In short to midterm. Long term, definitely not. That's not what we've historically seen on any boxes ever. Sure, we'll see some downward pressure, especially at the beginning when it's teeter-tottering and trying to find that balance of what's the right price for these boxes, what's the right price for these cards. You're definitely going to see an opportunity there on one or the other, because it's not going to be priced right exactly. That's why markets are fluid and they're always moving. So yeah, not concerned about it at all. So do I think these boxes will tank if I see like a huge boom? Nah. No worries, Zach. You're doing great. Just nice to see someone talking passionately about the hobby. Absolutely. Absolutely love it. And I love the different angles that everyone has in this. It's such a fantastic thing, and it's so healthy for the hobby, seeing people who are passionate about vintage, and they're not saying... Very rarely do I see people who just preach like vintage is the only play. I know, like for example, Jake from Pokenomics, guys, if you're not already subbed, I would imagine most of you are, but if you're not, definitely sub to him. He's got great content. He's a smart dude. It's fantastic seeing people's takes on like vintage, and like Jake, who is passionate about vintage, but he also knows that modern has its place. Hey guys, this could be a great flipping opportunity, taking advantage of things like that. Now, one thing that you guys might see me talk about would be flipping, taking advantage of the market with where we're at. I am not someone who is a fan of timing the market in the stock market. And I saw someone comment on my video before how timing the market would be not less than ideal. Let's just put it that way. I agree. From an investing for my retirement standpoint in the stock market, historically that doesn't pan out well. If we're talking about Pokemon, I think you should absolutely time the market because we know how it works. I think it's silly if you don't time the market with Pokemon or really any TCG. We know what's going to happen. Guys, we know when a new set comes out, it's going to go ballistic at the beginning. Why would you not sell into that hype? That seems like the no-brainer play to me that everyone's talking about tonight. Can you make your face yeah, let me try to change that really quick if I can, guys. Can I hide? No. Guys, I'm not very good at this. I can remove it, but I'm not sure I could get it back. So I kind of don't want to do that. Is that okay? Is it that terrible if I leave it up? Let me know if it's really let me know if it's really bad or obnoxious. I'm gonna stop talking about it. If more people bring it up, I'll get rid of it. But otherwise, I have to leave it because it was a pain to get this set up. Sun and Moon Explosion. Have they stopped printing Sun and Moon? Some people in this chat might know that more than me. I'm not following it that close. They did a reprint, soft reprint slash additional wave of Sun and Moon, base set Sun and Moon ETBs. I was actually just talking to my buddy about this earlier. Cardinal Gaming, Mason from Cardinal Gaming, is pretty confident that they did do a reprint because he had new 2021 like cardboard boxes that the Sun and Moon, the base set Sun and Moon ETBs came in. My thought was, well, they could have just been sitting in a warehouse and then threw them into like on a pallet by themselves and then thrown into modern day cardboard boxes. Either way, I don't care if it was reprinted. It was an old wave that was just introduced. Whatever. New product is new product. That's what I'm trying to say. It was product we didn't know about before and it wasn't accounted for, and it's on the market now and it is being accounted for. Either way, more ETBs introduced, price went down. You're going to see more product. Pricing obviously reflects that now. You can grab those ETBs for like what, 40-50 bucks now, no problem. I would not pick up base set Sun and Moon ETBs. That set was originally so heavily printed anyway. If you want to buy up a couple of them, I wouldn't do it right now. But if you want to, FOMO's getting to you and you love the boxes, grab a couple of them. ETBs perform great mid to long term, but I wouldn't. Surprised we're on the same page on timing Pokemon. Absolutely, man. Every person knows in this chat, anyone who's made money on Pokemon knows you can time this market. It's silly not to take advantage of that. I don't like calling it take advantage of that. You're using your knowledge to your advantage there. So I don't see any issue with that. Just look into it for the future. For now, it's fine. Okay? Absolutely, Genji. I'll work on my settings. I'll try to have a separate face cammy thing for the future. So thanks for bearing with me, friends. You always have the chance for a cheaper entry point on current sets too. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to be wrong on a lot of stuff. I want to make that clear. I do not think I'm God. I'm not all-knowing. I'm going to get a ton of stuff wrong, along with all the rest of you, by the way. Looking at all of you. So this is a tricky game, and there's always going to be a better time to buy. That's what I'm trying to say. There's always going to be a better time to buy. There's always going to be a better selling point. There's always someone else. If you would have just held out one more day on selling that product, you could have tripled your profits. If you would have bought this one product and it exploded the very next day because Logan Paul made another wacky video, there's always going to be that. I always ignore that. You can't control that. They're what if scenarios. It's irrelevant. So I don't let that get to me at all. There's always going to be something better you can do. I just try to consistently make progress and implement these rules for myself, so I can take advantage of that. I just got an Instagram notification. Not from Gary G, though. Excuse me. I don't care about that. That's not what's important. I assume you're talking about the video. Long story short, I don't believe it's a reprint. I think it's repackaging. If I had to say, Bulbasquad, I agree. I don't think it's reprint, but I don't care. More product is more product. It's whatever. They are so cheap. Sun and Moon base set. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to take advantage of it now, you can. I think there are a billion products. I'm probably not even exaggerating that you could put your money into that I would feel more confident doing. But I don't think you would be upset. However many years from now that you bought those, 5 to 10 years from now, I think that's pretty safe. But it will be years if I had to guess, if you want my opinion. Do you feel that XY Breakthrough is underpriced? Yes, Shane, if you watch I talk about this in every video. I just put so much time into it. It's unfortunately didn't do as well as some of my other videos that I put like no time into. That's how it goes, isn't it? I just lost it. Oh yeah. Do you feel that XY Breakthrough is underpriced, and if so, what's your views on whether it will rise sharply in the next year or two? So that's tricky, right? I don't know about rise sharply in the next year or two. I think in the next year or two, if we don't see another catalyst, I think we're going to be in a pretty boring time, which is exciting if you're an investor. So if you are an investor, you're smiling right now. You're like, get everything cheap for the next couple of years. That'd be great. I don't know. Again, there could be, gosh, I hope not. For all of our sakes, for safety and everything, pandemic 2.0 or whatever, a new wave of whatever. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We can't control any of those things, right? So I don't see a sharp rise. However, if you did watch that XY Evolutions video of mine, I broke down saying how Breakthrough and Breakpoint, I feel like, are some of the best XY ETBs that you could buy right now, because they weren't outperforming the booster boxes, or they were barely outperforming the booster boxes. And they were like, there was only like 3 sets in all of XY where the ETBs were not outperforming. It's a matter of time for Breakthrough and Breakpoint. If you want a hot tip, there's my hot tip about what I think about Breakthrough. I was talking about your face view. What are you talking about my face for? I'm joking. I get it, Teal. Thank you. How a product like Marnie can perform in 5 to 10 years. I just made a video about Marnie, if you should still invest or if it's a good time to invest. Spoiler alert. I think it's okay. I'll break it down more in that video, but I was not expecting it to be allocated as much as it was. I, once again, underestimated how potentially creepy people are in waifus. People love Marnie. I think it's a good pickup. Do I think there will be a better time to buy? I think waiting after celebrations could be a smart play. I always like to wait until the next set comes out. If I'm talking about like set 1 that just came out today, I'd like to wait until set 2 or 3 comes out the following months and look back on that set 1 and see what the price did. If it went up, stayed current, whatever, awesome, super cool. Now I know it's a good time to invest. If it went down, awesome, I'll take advantage of that. If it plummets and I don't see much activity, then I know, hey, you know what, that wasn't as good of an investment as I thought. I'm glad I didn't put any money into that. I am much more comfortable with spending a little bit more money in the future, knowing that it is as hot as I think it will be, rather than putting money into it immediately and saying, I hope it goes up. Guy who analyzes companies as a stockbroker and understands the importance of corporate leadership. Does it concern you that Metazoo is run by someone with limited competitive gaming experience? Yes and no. Yes, I did analyze companies. I am not an expert in TCG startups. I know nothing about how to balance a game, how incredibly complex and difficult that gets. Like, for example, I've played all kinds of video games. I'm sure lots of you guys have too. If you change one little thing on this one little character, he becomes OP and then somehow indirectly nerfs this other character who used to be middle of the road. Now he's absolute trash and all of that. So it's really, 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 really difficult to do stuff like that. So I'm not super concerned as the CEO that he doesn't have much or limited experience with that. I know he's starting to surround himself with people who do. So that is good. I think the game is misunderstood. I think it is a shame. Do I think there were some things that were said that were potentially misleading? We're talking about Metazoo, for anyone hopping in. Do I agree with everything that's occurred? No. Would I agree with any? The way I look at it is this. If Pokemon were starting today, would Pokemon be giving free product to YouTubers to help promote it? I would think they would. Would Pokemon start a Discord and interact with their audience? I think they would. Do I think Pokemon would reach out to the big YouTubers like Rudy and have him shill the game? I do. If I were a business owner, I would absolutely do all of those things. So do I think he is scummy for doing those things? No. Do I think there were a handful of things that I didn't agree with that occurred? Yes. Again, that happens with literally any company ever. So I think things are being blown out of proportion. I see a lot of comments, a lot of really mean, hateful comments, like just... they're evil. They're just purely mean. They're not edifying in any way. Very immature comments. So I don't give those comments any weight or value in my life, especially when I'm analyzing something. And that makes me more bullish on a product. That's why I've got, let's just say, a bunch of those Metazoo booster boxes. A bunch. I asked every Discord group I was in if it had an other TCG section or if I could talk in it. I asked every single one, and I got so much hate for bringing up the subject of investing in this horrible, cruddy game, and how it was an evil creator who created it, and how Rudy is evil, Mike Waddell is evil. Anyone who invests in this product, it's not going anywhere. It's not meant for anyone because of this. And that is when I actually purchased Metazoo. That is when I knew this is going to be good. That was my take on Metazoo. Happened to be the right place, the right time for that. It was awesome as far as getting all of that product so cheap at first. Now, could the game crash and burn tomorrow? Yeah, it absolutely can. Right now, it's in that total 110% speculative state. So I am not like bullish in the sense that I want to put all of my TCG investing money in it. No. I am very bullish on it as far as my risky portion of my money goes. I am very intrigued by it. Personally, if investing aside, I like Metazoo. I like the artwork. I am all for the booster boxes. I love how all of that's being handled. I think there are things that could have been better. That's with any startup like we've talked about. I really like it. I think it's getting way too much hate. I think some of the hate is justified. I think 75% of it is not. That's just my take, though. Are products like Marnie going to perform 5 to 10 years? I'm pretty sure I already answered that. It's going to be in the upcoming vid. I like Marnie, the premium tournament collection box. I think it's a great pickup. As a guy who already read that. The XY video was good. Thank you, Shane. Somewhat reestablished my intentions to begin investing in XY. I have 2 Evolutions boxes, but some of the cheaper, less desired XY sets are beginning to gain traction. I would hold off on selling those for sure. I think those are great pickups. Is retail price like at Walmart stores and the usual big stores the cheapest the prices will be on the market from that point on? No, Max. So anytime you're able to get a product at or under MSRP is a huge win from an investment standpoint if the product does well, right? Well, wow. At or under MSRP is a huge win. So if you go to Walmart, it's going to be at MSRP. Great pickup. Like if you would have picked up like any Pokemon product, like literally ever, pre-2020, it would have gone up like 1 billion%. So everyone was a winner. So everyone's a genius in a bull market, right? I think picking up product at Walmart is totally fine. To answer your question, Max, you can get it cheaper on eBay. You can pay for a subscription to get your hands on distributor level pricing. That's for more hardcore investors, very serious people who have a few more dollars to spend than probably your average Walmart goer or someone who goes to Family Dollar and just buys up a handful of packs here and there. If you're talking about serious money, and I mean like serious as far as like probably hundreds of dollars or more, because that's when you become serious. Like what casual person spends hundreds of dollars on a TCG every month? A hardcore collector does. So to fully answer your question, I would say at or under MSRP is a huge win. Walmart's great, Target's great, Meijer, whatever. Online's good if you can get it at retail. I would look at eBay. A lot of times on eBay you can get lucky sometimes and find some product under MSRP. Like battle styles. You could, I don't know about now, I haven't looked. At the time, you could buy battle styles, ETBs, for $30 shipped. And if you lived in a tax-free state, $30 for an ETB shipped to you. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. That's crazy. So yeah, look on eBay. And in fact, limited business experience at all. These could cause significant challenges in meta balance, logistics, etc. if he doesn't make the right hires. Definitely. I think he is making the right hires. The fact that he's working with Rudy, the reason I keep bringing Rudy up, he's an expert in the business. Whether you like him or not, agree with everything he says or not. I know a lot of people don't agree with everything he says. It's hard to agree with everyone on everything. Rudy is brilliant. There is a reason why he is as big as he is, as successful as he is. Whether you like him or not, the man is brilliant. And he surrounds himself with like-minded people. If you've seen some of his videos, talk about the experiences he's had. And Mike is friends with Rudy. And Rudy wants Mike to win. Do I think that's going to be a potentially successful synergistic relationship? Definitely. So it intrigues me. Again, not parking all my Scoobies in Metazoo. It definitely intrigues me. And Mike, now that I'm thinking about it, you asked me about Flesh and Blood. Love Flesh and Blood. Super cool. I've got some Monarch First Edition booster boxes. Unfortunately, I paid too much for them at the time, but bought a couple more now since they've dipped. Definitely like the game. I don't know how to play it. I don't know if a lot of people do, but I think Metazoo is going to follow in Flesh and Blood's footsteps, my opinion. How many you bought? I don't know what we're talking about, Teal. Yeah, I see. Okay, I'll wait to buy more. Oh, great. I answered it. Awesome. It's 5 in the morning. Good night, Zach. Oh, well, thank you for staying up, waking up, staying up until 5 in the morning, Gidgy. I appreciate that. What's your favorite Metazoo card that's not Mothman? I like Piazza Bird. I like... Man, there's some good ones. Joint Snake is cool. I like Blue. I like the... For anyone who doesn't know, the Blue Ox. I think he's cool. I think he's really cool. Blue actually might be my second favorite. Or maybe my favorite. I like Blue. How don't you get more views and followers? Kind of happy for us with that, but you're so underground. I see you big in the future, Zach. You give so many good Q and tips. Well, thank you, Teal. I appreciate that. We just started. Actually, it's embarrassing. I just made a video like a couple days ago, and I said, hey guys, thanks for 200 subs. I wasn't expecting to hit that so fast. And then literally my wife told me right after I recorded that, she said, hey, congratulations. I was like, thank you for what? And she's like, for hitting 300 subscribers. I was like, 300? Oh, okay, cool. Well, I just said thanks for 200. So, disregard that, I guess. Thank you. Disregard the numbers. I agree on Metazoo, but Waddell's lack of experience does concern me as an investor. It could succeed, but we are living in a utopian world where we forget that new TCGs almost always fail. Definitely, Mike. The fact that it's made it past the Kickstarter, past the first wave, past the first edition, are all great signs. Super duper duper new. It's definitely in its infancy, baby wavy stages. Like I said, I'm not like, guys, this is it. Like, Metazoo's here to stay. I hope it does. I hope they succeed. I hope they flourish and do great. Guys, Metazoo can coexist with Pokemon, and I'm not saying Metazoo is the new Pokemon. It can be its own thing. We've got Pokemon and we've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Why not Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Metazoo, Digimon? There's space for all of these. That's my opinion. No, I don't see the need for just hatred. Yes, there were things that could have been done better. That's, again, my take. What will happen with sets like Jungle that kind of don't get much attention? It's not popular or overprinted. Certainly, Jungle First Edition, like I talked about previously, we're talking about base set Black and White Emerging Powers that performed just as well during the same time period as Jungle First Edition. We're talking about modern product that's not established. Not even a decade long. Pre-2020. So yeah, I think it was overprinted. It definitely, it obviously was. The prices reflect that. You can get a base set, or not a base set. You can get a first edition Jungle booster box for like 14 grand. I don't know. I haven't checked in a couple weeks. Might be less. Might be more now. That's ridiculous. That sucker was printed a lot. Great info, man. Thanks. No, thank you. Lowest I found Battle Styles ETBs was 27 a box shipped. That's ridiculous. Like, that's nuts. That should not be a thing. What is Metazoo? Sorry, haha, okay, I'll have to check it out. Definitely, look up Metazoo. They've got their Discord. It's a very friendly and inviting Discord. From what I've experienced, and I've heard some people that have asked some trying questions that haven't had good experiences in there. So my experience is, if you're not condescending, you should have a decent time in their Discord. Let's answer a question that I had for Gary from you guys that was kind of like a question for me and for him. Thoughts on the poke? Thoughts on what poke? The poke-a-poke? Alright. The B&B asked, Pokemon Celebrations leaks. I think it's great. I think it's good for the hobby. Certain leaks can be great. Depends. I guess I'll have to know more of what you're talking about, Carlos. Thanks for stopping in. The B&B asked, what's your opinion on the Charizards, the black ones and the VMAX? Are they going to outperform the S&P 500? So, Gary was a no-show, as of right now at least. I'm still waiting on, not really waiting on him at this point. But I'll have to change the title after this. Do you think you should pay your mods more? I think some of them need to be demoted. If you want, I can sub in for Gary. That would be awesome, man. I think you might have messaged me. Yeah, man. Let's, if you've got time, San, I will. So cool if I send you an invite. Let's do this. If you guys are up for it, I would appreciate that, man. I was just thinking, like, I don't know anyone who could hop on here and talk Pokemon with me. It would be really knowledgeable in a space that I would like to talk to. And again, that I would like to talk to. Here's looking at most of you in the chat. I'm kidding. I'd love to talk to all of you. But let me answer this question real quick, and then I'll send you an invite, Sam. I think that'd be great. I think you should fire the mod, says Jake. Yeah, my back hurts, says I'm. Thanks, guys. Okay. What's your opinion on the Charizards? All right, so like which ones? There's only like 9 million of them. The black ones and the VMAX. Maybe you're talking about like Champions Path, like the Champions Path Charizards. There's the black one, and then there's the Rainbow VMAX. That's what I would think. Give me about 30 seconds. You got it, San. I'm kidding. We can wait. This might be a late night. I'm going to assume that you're talking about for the black ones and the VMAX. I'm going to assume you're talking about Champions Path because you're talking about Modern. Champions Path Charizards, there's the black one and the Rainbow VMAX. Do I think it's going to outperform the S&P 500? So that's a loaded question. It depends how long we're talking about. It depends what time frame we're talking about. If we're talking about from now until next Tuesday, right? What are we talking about? So if we're talking about like realistically, from now until like realistically-ish 5 years, I like to talk in like 5-year-ish increments, or 2 years or 3 years, a little chunk of time. I hate doing like month intervals. That's ridiculous in my opinion, because anything can happen. Anything can happen in 5 years. So let's assume there's not another catalyst. There's not another 2020 year like that. Let's assume just normalcy-ish, as much as normalcy is normal now. Yes, I think that those cards could perform the S&P 500 during that time period. Long term, I think it would be difficult, because you're talking about compound interest versus simple interest. So if you're talking about I bought this Charizard card. It was a PSA 10 or a BGS 9.5 or a BGS 10 for, I don't know, $300, $500. And in that time frame of 3 years or 5 years, if that card goes up to $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever it ends up being, could that outperform the S&P 500? Well, what if the S&P 500 just goes on a tear the next 2 years, and you see 37% one year and 23% the next? You might think that's ridiculous, and that's exactly what happens. And then let's say 1 year it's negative 1%, and then the next year for the S&P 500 you see another 8% or 11%. So and then you'd have to factor in those gains and losses during that time, and then the compound interest. So your interest goes back into the shuffle of money. So you put in $500 in the S&P 500, and then over the course of the year it turns into $600. Well, now you've got $600 working for you instead of that $500, and then that $600 turns into $800, and then that $800 is working for you. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference between compound interest and simple interest, and it gets very complex very quick. Historically, if you would have bought anything, again, pre-2020, most things, especially ETBs, would have blew the S&P 500 out of the water during a short mid period of time. Like we're talking like 3 to 5 years. Do I think long term that it would? No, I would not bet against the S&P 500. It is safer in that aspect. We have more data to go off of. And again, Pokemon is very, very new. And we're talking about one stock at the end of the day. The Pokemon franchise. Gary was a no-call, no-show. Yeah, he was, guys. I'm sorry about that. We moved it to this date. We just talked to him yesterday and earlier. Not sure what happened. I hope he's okay, doing good. Rudy, he is great. Rudy is great. He is awesome. Thought on special delivery Bidoof, hold or sell? Whoa, if you have it, I would sell. Well, hold on 1 second. Let me look up eBay real quick. I saw those prices. San actually posted it, and my jaw dropped. I was like, what? We're talking about Bidoof. Talk about a big oof, am I right? Special delivery Bidoof. I can't believe I'm looking this up right now. Let's look at actually sold. I'm seeing a lot listed for like $279.95 free shipping that's just sitting there, which means you might need to sell less than $280 at this point. I would still sell. I'm always a fan of selling right away when items like this are hot. If you're a big fan, if you're a big Bidoof fan, mine is on the way, but not sure what to do. It's on the way. I don't like selling stuff before I have it in hand because that is the type of thing that would get delayed with my luck. Let me refresh this. So, I mean, you're going to have to sell that for $275 at this point, which is fantastic. I assume you got it for free or cheap. I don't even remember how they got the cards now. Let's look at sold listings. $271 in an auction, $268, $275, $255. By the time you would get it in hand, I'm not sure. So I mean, it's the weekend now, so I guess Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, hopefully you'll have it. Or do you not even have the email yet? We're talking about even longer. That would be rough, right? I would sell right away if you get it ASAP, or if you want to list it first and then put up like a 10 business day handling period, and then ship it, the next week or two whenever you get it. That's what I would do. Those cards are gonna crash. It's not a matter. It's in my opinion, it's not a matter of if, but when, and it will happen quick. Are the thick Charizards worth anything? Heck yeah, they are. They're like, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. They're literally like, it's like a thing. It like started off as a meme, but people actually like, artists like create them. Like, thick Charizard. What in the world? Sell it through eBay or Facebook Marketplace? Facebook Marketplace, last I checked, doesn't have any fees for selling. If you can sell it through there, I'd list it on both. See what you could get. Zoom, San. We'll be using Zoom. Actually, let me type that in. I think it's quicker because I think there's a delay. Zoom, comma. Is your strategy to sell, flip quickly to lock in gains and reallocate, or do you tend to hold longer term? A mixture of the two. Mike/Doug, I think. Yeah, my strategy is both to take advantage of both. So to accumulate a bunch of capital very quickly, a great flip would be great, right? In an ideal world, that'd be fantastic. Lock in gains where I can. Anytime I can lock in profit, I'm usually going to try to take advantage of that. And the thing I like to look at too is if you have a $100 booster box and it goes to $200, awesome, that's 100% profit. I'm going to lock that in. And the reason why, if I decided to hold that $200 booster box, now that $200 booster box, this is for most other people listening, I know Mike knows this, that $200 booster box would have to go perform up to $400 for me to experience that 100%. So it's much harder to do the bigger that number gets. Do you need to download it? I don't know. Does anyone know the answer to that question? Do I need to download Zoom to join you? Let me Google that. Let's see. Does I guess need to download Zoom to join me? We're doing this raw right here, right now, guys. You don't need to install any extra software to join or even host a Zoom meeting. You do it all through a web browser. Nope. Can go through web browser. Let me send the invite link. Copy invitation. I think I just did it, guys. Hold on a second here. We're gonna get us a Pokemon discussion up in here, guys. Post your questions for Santa and I. Give us a good debate for us to duke it out. Who do you guys have your money on? I'd have my money on San. He's cool. I just sent it to you in Discord. Did any of you guys have any questions right now while we're waiting for him to hop on? And then it'll make sense with my layout. See, that's why I was waiting on Genji. Gosh dang it. Genji was the one who just left. Of course. That's how it goes, guys. All right. Let's talk about another question. Oh, I was talking, that's important. Excuse me. Does that make sense? The more expensive an item gets, the higher the dollar amount needs to ascend to see that same percentage increase. I'm all about percentage increases. I don't care what dollar amounts we're talking about. Talking about $100,000, we can talk about $1. If I see a bigger percentage increase on my money, that is what I'm going to try to capture. Bulba is sick with the in-depth videos. I just subbed him last week and just found yours, Captain. I subbed too. Well, thanks, Carlos. That was a really nice comment. Yeah, Bulbasquad, guys, if you're not subscribed to him already, which you should be, I would assume most of you are. If not, definitely sub to him. Super, super cool guy, funny guy, knowledgeable guy. A great asset to the Pokemon community. Super cool, guys. You will learn a lot from him. His videos are just great. Long story short. Let me make sure he didn't message me. Do we send questions now? Yeah, send them now. Where did that word go? Now works. Best OG starter and why? That's a loaded question. I guess we'll have to wait for Sam to get on. Let's see. Make sure he's not waiting for me to admit him. Good. So guys, if you want to make as much money as possible in this game, number one, don't be stupid. What I mean by stupid is don't jump into FOMO. If I can't analyze something, I never, ever, ever, ever put my money in it. I don't care how good it is. If I can't analyze it, if it's, oh my goodness, I gotta click on this link immediately or else I won't get, then I'm not gonna get it. If I can't analyze something, if I don't understand the market for it, I'm not going to park my very hard-earned money in something like that. Can I make more money on sports cards? Yes. Well, I can't because I don't understand it as much. That's something I could do. It's just, but it's not something I'm as passionate about, right? And that's again why we're here at the end of the day. Do you think upcoming tax changes will affect market dynamics in late 2021 and 2022? Yeah, I do think so because that's going to affect eBay has already come out with a statement, and I'm sure that that ties into this, to your question. Yes, I do. I don't. I do see it affecting the market. How much? I don't know, because I don't mean this in a mean way. People are willfully ignorant in that space. So do I know how much it'll affect it? I don't know, because the people investing in these cards are more savvy. They're in tune with the market more. They like it, and they eat and breathe this stuff all day, every day. But that doesn't mean they're experts in it. And yes, I see it affecting it, but I don't know by how much. Back in, oh gosh, I don't remember the year, 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. There was a rollout in the firm where we had to add something to our prospectus across the board. It was a blurb. It was a legal blurb. I am trying to be specific without. I'm trying to be specific and vague. They're legally, right? There was a blurb we had to add to every prospectus. So what, as a firm, what did we try to do? We tried to find the best way to bury that as possible, because it would be advantageous for the account holder to know that information, utilize that information for their gain, and understand that, hey, this investment's probably really crappy because of X, Y, and Z. So we were legally required to release that information into the market. We did that legally by burying it in an 840-page document, like on average. Like that was the length of the of those particular in-depth prospectus, Outlook in-depth perspective PDFs, whatever they called it. So do I think tax changes will affect us? Yes. Do I know by how much? No. I don't know if it's going to be a huge change. If I had to guess, I'd say no, because people are silly. Which booster boxes should we be buying now? All of them, no bad. But really, man, right now is a weird time to buy. It's a great time to buy on stuff. I think we might see a slowdown effect for a while. I can't tell you how long. We could have another whoosh in the market, especially with celebrations coming up, but we could also not see that. And I think that if we don't see another catalyst, that kind of effect in the market, I'm not super bullish, especially on English product right now. I'm not like, I need to buy all of these things right now, because I think it'll be here next year and the year after that probably. So I don't mean to give you kind of a bummer question, but I great pickups right now. I mean, do I think Battle Styles booster boxes will be here next year and probably the year after around that price point? Potentially. So I'd be kind of scared to pick up a bunch right now. But if you want, I mean, that's a great value. Percentage increase wise, I think you could see a lot of potential there. But if I had to tell you some sets to buy, it's all of them, man. All of them perform great. And I just made a video explaining why I think you should purchase most sets, because it's impossible to tell which set is going to be the Rockstar set in that value-wise, because there could be that one set that wasn't printed as much as others, even though if it objectively wasn't as popular of a set, but it's just more rare, scarcer, right? We may not see an impact until the year 23, when collectibles investors feel the burn of tax burden. Yes, I agree. From the year before, I think you're right that most are blissfully ignorant until then. For sure. Some of them will get stung. I forget what the statistic is. It's something like less than 7% or you've got a less than 5% chance of being audited if you make less than $500,000 a year, which is 99% of investors in this space. Well, not in this particular space, but I'm talking about in general. Spent $680 in celebrations pre-orders. Oh my goodness, Carlos. Oh boy, do we have the man? Maybe we can hear him here in just a little bit. Connecting to audio. He's probably got some kind of a voice thing on, like a voice meter or something, if I had to guess. See, now this is getting good, everyone. Now it makes sense. The layout, see, of the stream makes sense now, right?
All right, I should be good now.
Still don't hear Bulba, but we'll wait just a second here, guys.
All right, can you hear me now?
Can't hear anything. Let me see. Making sure. Yeah, we should be able to hear everything. Okay, let me read the chat. You interrupt me, San, whenever you can. Oh, they can hear him? Oh, well, then that's an issue, San. If they can hear you, then I can't hear you. Well, let's
And I can hear you.
And you can hear me? I just can't hear you. Well, this works fine. Oh, you know what? Maybe now I don't want to hop in Discord because then I'm gonna get mic bleed on everything. Like it's all right.
Tell me, guys, in the chat, can you guys hear an AC in the background?
Try to equalize. That's what I'm trying to do. Well, welcome to the show, Sam. Thanks for hopping on. I still can't hear you, but if you want to go ahead and feel free to take some of these questions while I'm figuring this sound issue out. And then, yeah.
All right, so no AC, no echo on my end. Just double checking because I am using brand new equipment. That's just me checking right now.
I can hear you now, too. Hey, you can call me Zach. That's fine. That's my real name. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on, man. Big fan of your show. I was watching you for quite a while. One of the reasons why I started my channel up. Hey. Hey, that's awesome. My friend is sitting next to me saying that they can't hear you now. So I'm going to try to fix that now. That was on my Zoom settings, so my goodness. I had this worked out right beforehand, so I guess it's maybe for the best that Gary didn't come on with all this nonsense. That's all this stuff. What do you use when you're doing sound, when you're zooming or on calls with people? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Well, that's handy. I'm gonna guess. Let me see here. Who is also very cool and occasionally makes appearance in videos too, right? Yeah. Well, let's. Hmm. even know what's going on now. No, you did not. It was, let's see, same as system. Let me try this. Can I hear you now? I don't know. I can hear you. I don't know if the chat can. And if we can't, I think what we'll do is this will be a nice like end of episode like oh my goodness, they showed one of the new main characters or whatever, and that's the end of the episode, and then still no audio on Sans End. Okay. There's like one other thing I can try maybe. Yeah, guys, because I'm trying to be respectful of everyone else's time here, too. Huh. Settings. Trying to get this chat. 1 second.
Hey, sir.
B?
Are you able to set up StreamYard with
you?
our account and stream it to someone else's YouTube?
Hold on. B. Were you talking to me? Because I just had you muted on accident. Oh. No, not yet.
We got both of them.
You did? What? Right. Oh, hold on. Let me know if it's still there or not. I think you heard him when he was on B, which is not work for me. I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear him now, though, because I can hear him now, and I don't know if you guys can hear that. My goodness, I'm still getting an it works. I'm skeptical. I don't want to believe it. Yep. That's what I thought. Okay, so you were on. That's cable B. Okay, 1 second. I've got like all these cables, and I'm not a sound audio engineer. My brother is, but I'm not. Oh gosh.
No.
Okay, I think. That's not gonna work either. Yeah, so guys, let's go ahead and, well, 1 second. I'm going to get it to where I can hear him really quick because I can't communicate.
Now we can hear him again.
I'm sure you could. Okay, San. So, I'm thinking what we do is we'll adjourn this, and we can either get it set up on yours, and then I can get this figured out some other day. Yeah, they can hear both when I switch it back over, but it's only when I can't hear you. So what I'm going to do, I don't know what happened. I didn't change any settings. It was working just perfect before. I know how everyone knows how technology can be. So I think maybe we should either end it here, or because I don't have another set of headphones where I can like Discord call you and put like one earbud in. I don't have that luxury. So I know it's like 1 or 2 simple settings, but I just don't know which one it is, and I don't want to take another half hour to try to figure that out. So yeah, we could definitely hop over to Sam's channel, guys. We can end this, especially since we're not talking to Gary on this one anyway, so it doesn't make sense to be on this channel now anyway. But that's up to Sam also, because that's something else to do. Same here. Awesome. Will we be doing Zoom? Zoom works good for me, but if you do something else. Awesome. I can do that. So, guys, we're going to be hopping over to Sand's channel. If you'd like, Sand, if you could just type in the chat here so they can click on your name and hop over there easy for anyone who isn't already acquainted with your channel. We'll be hopping over there. We'll be talking Pokemon and, I don't know, anything else that's super cool. Yep, we'll see you guys soon. I'm ending this now. Thank you, guys.